Hey guys, what's up? It's Doc here at TheDocTalk, and today I'm joined by Urban. Say hello, Urban.
Hello.
Alright, so today we're going to be talking about Social Security, and more specifically, whether or not Social Security should become means tested. We'll get into what those things mean first, but I feel like we need to get some definitions going on about Social Security, means tested, and entitlement programs. So first off, Urban, you know nothing about all this stuff, right?
I know very little.
Alright, so basically I'm going to be explaining to him while I'm explaining to you guys. So, Social Security was created in 1935 by FDR. Basically what Social Security does is it takes money out of a percentage of money out of your paycheck, and it puts it towards a trust fund run by the government. Now in that trust fund, like every trust fund, there's supposed to be a trustee. And what a trustee does is make sure that that money is spent wisely, and it makes sure that you can't access that money unless you meet certain criteria. So for Social Security, it was created to give money back to the elderly. It was meant to have, it's basically like a retirement program. So what happens is you pay into it, and then when you reach it, when it started out, it was 65 years old, you would get money back. You would get monthly paychecks, I think it was monthly, I think. But now they raised the age to 67. So the reason that they did that is because back in 1935, we did not have modern medicine that kept us alive longer, and because Social Security happened, it made us live longer. We had more money to access more medical expenses, and along with that, with Medicare. We're not talking about Medicare here, but so basically the elderly started living longer. So first, let's talk about means-tested entitlement programs. So now you know what Social Security is if you didn't know before. Entitlement programs are programs that anyone can receive with regardless of need. All right. So Social Security is a entitlement program. You pay into it. When you reach 67, you get money, no matter how much money you have. So, like, you can be Bill Gates, and you can still receive Social Security if you paid into it. A means tested is only people that meet certain criteria can access it, such as the poor. People who are under the poverty line can't access these. That's like WIC. That's woman, woman and child. Something I can't remember what it is. I can't remember some of the programs. They're much smaller programs. Medicaid is a means test. That's where health insurance is for the poor. Medicare, that is for anyone that's for the elderly, but anyone can get that once you're over the age. So that is an entitlement program. All right. So now that do you understand that, Urban? Do you think I covered most of the bases here?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So here's the issue that Social Security has nowadays. All right. When Social Security was created, there was about 6 working people for one elderly person receiving Social Security, alright? So that means 6 workers would pay for one person on Social Security, right? Alright, you understand that?
Yeah.
Nowadays, since people have been living longer because of modern medicine and stuff, basically there's I think it's 2.5 workers per one elderly person. So that means that less people are working and more people are becoming older and living longer and receiving Social Security. And what the government does is the government takes the excess money of Social Security and puts it into its budget and adds it to itself. So it sets a limit of money that can be paid out, takes the rest, right? Soon, before we reach Social Security age, more money will be getting paid out to Social Security members than be coming in. In other words, more people will be receiving Social Security payments, paychecks, than people that will be getting money taken out of their paychecks. So you and I will not be able to receive Social Security because there will be no money in that Social Security, alright? Does that sound fair to you?
No, I like monies.
Yeah. So the elderly, if you were to ask the elderly, should this become means tested? What that basically means is that only people who need the money can receive it. They would say, no, I paid into this for 60 years or whatever, or some people have only paid it for 50 or whatever. I paid into this for 50 years, I deserve it, right? Well, I mean, it's not fair to us, right? We're going to be paying into it for 60 years, right? Or 50 years, however long we're going to be paying into it. But we're not going to receive money if we don't change it. Do you think that's fair?
No, I like monies.
Okay, well, what do you think we should do? Do you think we can raise the limit to 70, so you can only access Social Security when you're 70? Or we can make it means tested. That means only the poor can receive it, like Medicaid. Or do you have any other ideas of what we can do? Because we're honestly running out of options here.
Well, what do you mean by only the poor can access it? Like, only the only the poor that are over the age of 65 can access it.
Yeah.
But then that would mean that we'd be paying into something that we most likely wouldn't be able to access if we have a successful career.
Yeah. That's the problem that everyone's having. It's either make it means tested and only a few people will get it, or don't make it means tested and no one will get it. It's honestly a lose-lose situation because Social Security was never meant to have so many people be on it. And another problem, do you know what the baby boomer is? Do you know what baby boomers are?
No.
Back in, I can't remember what it was. Was it the 30s or it was like the 50s. No. I don't remember. Basically, I don't remember the year. I'm sorry. Baby boomers was this very, very, very large sum of newborn babies coming into the world, more than the world has ever seen, and that caused population to increase so much in the U.S. And they're like almost 65 or 67. They're like, I think they're like 10 years or something like that. So like about 2030, there's going to be so many people on Social Security because of the baby boomers generation. And our generation is actually relatively small, and we're not going to have enough people working to pay for their Social Security. So things are just going bad in the name of Social Security. So what are your thoughts on this topic, Urban? What do you think from what I've told you so far?
Didn't you say before that the government takes a percentage? How big of a percentage?
Well, okay. What happens is, in a year, the American government sets a budget, right? So they set how much Social Security, they estimate how much Social Security they're gonna get, right? And then they estimate how much they need to pay people. So then what they do is that they collect that much that they need to pay out, and then any extra earnings, any excess money that comes in through Social Security, they take out and put towards other things. They won't be able to do that. It depends on the year, but they won't be able to do that once Social Security doesn't make any money anymore. Like once there's less money in Social Security than there is people working, then they won't be able to do that. And then that also screws up the nation's budget because then we won't have the money that we had before, and we're already what? How much are we now? Like $16 trillion in debt, something like that.
I don't know. It's a lot of zeros.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think? You still haven't told us your thoughts.
No, I don't really know. Suppose maybe increase the budget, but then, like you said, that would throw the entire nation's budget out of line.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on making it means tested? Do you think that would be a viable option?
No, actually. That would basically turn it into another form of welfare for elderly people.
That's what it is. It already is a form of welfare. Social welfare basically means that you receive money from the government. That doesn't mean that you have to be poor to receive welfare. Social Security is already welfare, technically.
What if you decrease the budget?
If you decrease the budget, like you're saying that you like make it so that everyone gets paid less.
Yeah, then that would mean that keeping
that would be helpful. But Social Security people already don't make that much money. Like I think like right now like you get like $500 a month. So like you could do that. That's a viable option. But I mean it's like everyone's getting still less, and people again would not be happy with receiving less money. Then they bitch at the government, and then the government's chewed out and is mad. People get mad at the government. So it's a lose-lose situation. I personally think that Social Security is never going to go away, so the only way to make it so that anyone gets anything is to make it means tested, and for the government to stop taking money out of it, or to take a lot less, and what they need to do is they need to actually save Social Security in there, in a bank, in a trust fund, a legit trust fund, and save up for years future, alright?
So basically
that way,
it's going to be temporarily means tested.
Possibly, depending on how things work, because that would potentially save Social Security, but again, I don't know. Once you've done something, sometimes it's hard to undo things. That's what I think we should do.
Makes sense.
You agree with that?
It makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then
anything else you want?
But there's another problem. If that's the case, people won't want to pay into Social Security.
That is true, but you don't have the option. It's not like you get to choose. It's automatically taken out of your paycheck.
Really?
Yeah, you can't
Stupid.
choose to pay for Social Security.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's technically like a tax, I guess. But yep, it's kind of stupid. So the entire thing is stupid. Social Security is stupid. Things need to be changed, or you and I will not get anything, and we'll be paying a lot of money. Anything else you want to say, Irvin?
I don't like taxes.
Agreed. See you guys later.
Aces.